100 Days of Gratitude, day 96, and today I'm grateful for that push, that drive, that motivation to do it anyways. I know it's something we all face, the self-doubt, the self-criticism, the whatever it is, holding us back, an internal narrative. It's not necessarily always right, but sometimes, many times, we will follow it, or we'll choose not to act, not to move forward. However, I'm so grateful when I just do it, right? Get out there, follow my dreams, follow an impulse, act on a thought, an idea. And this one here can be especially beneficial for any entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders, visionaries, and of course, it's applicable to every single one of us, regardless of who we are, what we do in this life, because we all have those thoughts of self-doubt and that which holds us back. But one can cultivate the opposite. One can build that drive, flex that muscle of motivation that moves you forward anyways, regardless. And before we get into that, I just want to say, what a beautiful day. Oh my gosh. It's humid out. It's wet. We've had some rain. Everything is just popping green. Smells so good. Feels great. Love it. Yes, having such a good time this morning on my walk to work. And for this video, I want to share something that I'm sure you might not know and maybe could even find surprising. But for myself, and I could choose any number of examples, so this is just kind of one that was most recent for me. Yesterday, got to teach a plant walk. 31 people out. Holy, it was a big group, but I had a lot of fun, and yet also had a little trepidation, in particular with plant walks, in particular around the world of herbs. I have my own kind of negative self-talk and doubts. Even, when it comes to calling myself a herbalist, on one level, I'm not a herbalist. I'm not a professional herbalist in the sense, that I've trained and I have a degree and I've gone to school specifically for that, and that I, see clients and it's my career. So on one hand, no, I'm not a herbalist. But on the other hand, of course I'm a herbalist. Plants are my life. I love plants, love herbs, for all intensive and practical purposes. I am a herbalist, and it's exactly what I teach. But I guess sometimes what you teach is what you most need to know, understand, and integrate in your own life. The idea that we can all be our own herbalist, that it does not require any sort of special degree, especially when it is about you and your relationship with your plants, for yourself, for your family, right? I'm not a practitioner in the sense, or a clinician, shall we say. Like, I don't do consults, I don't, prescribe herbs and anything like that, but I love learning about them. And I love practicing with them on myself and my family, just playing, exploring, and utilizing the power of plant medicine. In that way, 100%, I am a herbalist, and I encourage everyone to be their own herbalist. And yet, there is that kind of, self-talk, that doubt that, you're not a herbalist, right? Or in the case of a plant walk, I've really only ever done, plant walks, leading them myself, less than what I can count on my one hand. So yesterday was one of those times of the few where it's just me solo taking a group out and teaching about the plants. And for years, how I've gotten there, and again, I'm kind of wavering on it. I think I'm over it. I'm through it. But how I've gotten there, I've always done them in the past, is with a sidekick, right? Blaine Andrewsick, Julie Walker, Denise Manzer, Yarrow Willard, somebody who I admire and knows a lot more than me in that regard. And, I've always kind of been that support and that sidekick, facilitating their plant walk and just kind of, adding in a little bit as I can. But never having that surety, that confidence to take a group out by myself. And yeah, I know I can. I know enough, but there's always that in the back of your mind of just like, well, I don't know every plant. I don't know everything about every plant, the ones that I do know. And one can get into that, that kind of negative self-talk that will take oneself out of a situation. But slowly, it's like a muscle. I've been practicing it for so many years, and just go beyond plant walks, so many other circumstances where, who am I, right? To step up, to step out, to do such things. And it is a muscle in terms of practicing. It's like, hey, I'm just going to do it anyways. So I'm grateful for that action, that initiative of all the times I have said yes and just gone with it, right? Above and beyond the self-talk, above and beyond no, here's the reason why you can't, or why you shouldn't, or you're not good enough, and on and on and on. I don't think that ever ends, but the muscle gets strong enough, that motivation, that desire, that push to do it anyways does develop and becomes less. Now, of course, one needs to, sometimes that's how you learn too. You're like, oh no, I'm just going to do it anyways. And you go push beyond, and maybe it's not the right situation. You're like, whoa, I really did overextend myself here. And this was not the right appropriate choice. So of course it's not, sometimes that is the case, and it's not, denying your own intuition and your own sense of logic, right? Of like, am I qualified enough? Am I in the right position, in the right place to do X, Y, and Z? One still needs to pay attention to that, but very oftentimes it is just something to kind of get over and through, that one does know enough, one is the right person, and whatever one needs to do to take that action, you can build upon that and keep yourself moving forward to greater heights, right? Just do it. That's how we grow. That's how we stretch, go beyond our boundaries that we place for ourselves. We need to go beyond that and know that we can do it. By doing it, you prove to yourself again and again. So in the case of plant walks, I am super stoked for this year, this season. Got another one next weekend, and then I got a private group I'm taking out the following week. And this whole season is going to be awesome. It's going to be so good. And I'm going to learn a lot, going to share a lot. And it's my absolute passion and fun thing to do. And just coming into that own self embodiment, empowerment of, gonna have some fun with it. So 100 Days Gratitude, day 96, doing it anyways.